it's been a while since we were supposed to sit down and talk about what you had going on now. I want to talk about, you're an artist, a writer, a performer, you're CEO of Renaissance Records, but you're also a father and a husband. So how do you find time to balance everything?
You gotta make time. That's why I went with the whole Renaissance tag, because a lot of people say you're that Renaissance man, you got a lot of stuff going. So, as a person, you gotta make time for work, gotta make time for play, gotta take care of home, gotta take care of the kids, and then when it comes time for the music, we gotta make time for the music. So 24 hours in a day, sometimes you gotta make more hours,
Now, with all that on your plate, is it difficult to change clothes, rotate positions, and manage everything? Like, you get to do everything effectively?
It's hard. It's hard to be daddy and Titus and Rockwell and hubby. It's hard to sometimes make room, but, sometimes you sacrifice some and then kind of prioritize. So, it's been working so far to make it happen,
You really painted a masterpiece as an independent artist known to the world as Rockwell. Who is Rockwell, for those who may not know you?
Rockwell is an animal. A lot of people are surprised when we get on stage or when they hear the music. It's funny, they always say, "Is that you?" Because I guess they see me off stage with a calm demeanor. But Rockwell is that passionate person, I originally rocked with High Tech, Hitek. And then they told me, Hitec, they told me I had to change it up, Sound Bombing compilation years ago. And I created Rockwell the Hustler, the dude that was just energetic, spirit, animal, a monster, somebody you had to deal with. So, Rockwell is kind of like that do-it-all,
Now, what was the worst challenge you faced as Rockwell? And what was your greatest story?
Probably the worst challenge is dealing with dumb people. I was signed to my own label, matter of fact, and we were this close from inking the deal with Interscope. It's hard because people don't know how to market me. So, dealing with the business, being part of the artistry, and then being part of the business, I think that's one of my biggest challenges, because I don't know how to cut either off. I want to be 100% and be successful as Rockwell. I want to be 100% as a businessman and make them both work, because I'm tired of both sides, The greatest story as Rockwell is actually accomplishing things that people told me I was stupid for trying. Like we out on a private plane shooting to Burbank, California to meet up with Aftermath was dope. And to kind of sit back in the hotel room like how did this come to be? I did it. Nobody's giving me credit, but I just kind of stood in the mirror to say, look at where we at, Even going to Mississippi, we did a little tour leg over there, being booked out next to French Montana and some of the other biggest artists in the industry. We walk around in our robes joking like we did it, so that's always a victory lap for me,
Now, do you think you've accomplished and reached everything you dreamed of up to date as an artist?
Not yet. I got so much to do, so many mountains to climb. That's the frustrating part, because time is unlimited in life, but as an artist, your hourglass is ticking. So just when you high five and you feel like you did it all, you realize you barely did anything. You still got monsters to conquer and fields to run. So it's so much that I haven't done that I would like to do, and that list is long, man.
You've been on many stages through the years. So all aspiring artists, what's the secret to success and longevity in your opinion?
Learning how to change. A lot of people don't know how to change. They stick to one type of music, one particular producer. They wear the same clothes. You'd be surprised how many people still got FUBU on, or certain fads and fashions, do-rags. You gotta learn how to change with the times. It don't mean you can't be yourself, but you gotta evolve. That's the word I'm looking for. You gotta learn. You gotta study your market, study your opponents, know how to stay fresh. Look at people like Snoop or Eminem or Jay-Z, Nas. They constantly evolve, although they have the same core as an artist.
Individually speaking, what drives you?
I think success drives me. because I came from nothing. So I know that the more successful I am, the more I can help people. Not just money, but opportunity. You know, like as a profession, somebody need a job, I know I can help them out. Somebody need a ride or need something moved, I know I have the utilities or the the tools to do that. But when it comes to the music, like, first I can't stand to be told no. So to conquer that no barrier is what pushes me. Staying up till 4 in the morning and getting up at 8 o'clock to go back to work, just because I can't stand not having what I want to have when I want to have it is what pushes me. So that drive is just the inner me, man. It's in my blood.
So you kind of started into my next question of a lot of people, put success in the bubble of just how much things you have, money primarily. What do you think success means?
When the person's happy, fully happy, completely happy, I think that's when they found their level of success. Because I can give you $10 million and you can be fighting cancer and not be happy. Or I can give you the biggest house and you be the only one living in it and you won't be happy, you'll be miserable. So a lot of times people imprison themselves with what they think success should be. But I think when you truly find everything that completes you, I think that's when you'll reach your level of success at that particular category.
When music isn't popping off like you want it to, or things don't develop, what's your strength?
Family. We do barbecues every Sunday, jump in the pool, have fam come through, get on the 2K, dogs jump in your lap, kids pull on your shirt, step on your J's, like family is my strength. When music just cuts off, you always got family to fall back on. I grew up in a big family and now I've created my family, extended family and interpersonal. So
one of the most important questions of the night: what's next for Rockwell?
I got a lot of things that I haven't conquered yet, but I definitely want to pose a transition, and I think what's next for me is going back to evolve. I have to evolve, not just to stay afloat, but to stay alive, because music and my life and times, a lot of things have changed. So what now motivates me and drives me and keeps me happy and excited, I have to reinvent myself, and as well as put myself in a better position to be more useful. If I continue to be Rockwell and do the same things I've been doing, I'm gonna get the same results. But my life has changed a little bit, so I'm trying to align it. And I definitely want to let everybody know who has supported me through the years: internet, shows, purchasing music, high fives, producers, artists, labels, marketing. I just want to tell everybody thank you for the experience. It's been fun, the true journey. But I prayed about it, and I've made the transition to evolve as an artist. And I'm gonna go to the person that God made, which is my government, Titus. So I'm kind of saying farewell to Rockwell. It's been fun. People still call me Rock, and that's what you want to do. Let's go. But from now on, as an artist, I think I can do more and be more, and I'm gonna give the absolute best of me in a lighter shade. So I'm gonna introduce myself as Titus, formerly known as Rockwell, to the music world.
So Titus, where does this name come from?
My father, I'm a junior, for those who don't know. You see me and my pops, you'll think I'm his father because he's so little, but my grandmother gave birth to him. She knew if it was a boy, she was gonna name him Timothy. If it was a girl, she was gonna name the girl another name. And giving birth, she didn't know she had twins. The doctor said, you got another one coming. So he delivered the boy, Timothy. She didn't have a name for the second. And there was a volunteer nurse. Her name was Louise Sullivan. She was a volunteer. She was married to Billy Sullivan, who played for the Yankees. And she kind of gave her life to Christ, a humanitarian. And she told my grandmother that in the book, Timothy came first, Titus came next. So she named the twins Timothy and Titus. And of course, that family adopted my pops and taught him the musical part, which I've inherited, and taught him how to be a man, etc. But me being his firstborn, he named me after him. So I became a junior, and I didn't really think too much of my name until the last couple of years, where I just been having the most intriguing conversations over my name. I've learned so much about my name. No one ever taught me that,
Now, as far as Rockwell, do you feel that the supporters of Rockwell will follow you as you convert your ways of thinking and adjusting over into using your government name of Titus?
I think some people will be confused. I had a potty mouth, I had a certain way of living. I was always in certain clubs and venues and, following certain artists. So I think some people will be confused, and some people will probably congratulate me and say it's about time, thank you. Because some of my music, even for my own kids, some of my music, I have to mute when certain parts come up, or I have to cut it down because of the profanity or the darkness that we're talking about. So my mom told me best. She's like, yo, I wish you didn't say certain things. And I always told her I kind of have to, I gotta say this, man. That's how I feel, So I might lose some people, but I think overall I gain more respect and more people who want to hear better music,
Now, me as a fan of music in general, I listen to a wide variety of music. A cleaner, I wouldn't want to put it in a box and say gospel record, but a cleaner, more positive music comes on the radio. If it touches me, I listen, makes me feel a certain kind of way. So do you think that those supporters of Rockwell or anyone that has that kind of content would need some of that inspiration from the music that you're leaning towards now?
I think it has a lot to do with the composition of music, not just what I'm saying, but when you put a really dope, energetic track behind really dope, energetic words, it's gonna excite you. If I slow it down and make it real dark, it's gonna make you a little angry. If I put something with the singer on it, it's gonna make you more sentimental. So I really go back to whoever's orchestrating that project, If people believe in Titus as a person and Titus as an artist, and of course I believe in the producers and everybody who helped me put it together, I think they're gonna follow what it is I'm delivering, if that's what they feel or what they need in music for that time,
Yeah. Now, there's no secret that some artists have experimented with different wardrobes, different producers, drawn on different influences, dabbled in different genres, and etc. Is this a permanent or a temporary move for you?
It's definitely a permanent move. It's something I prayed about. It's not. I didn't get hit across the head and woke up yesterday to say, hey, I want to try something new. It's been in the work, I say, for the last 2 years, maybe even more. I'll tell you a quick story. Probably about 6-7 years ago, a random person came up to me. I wasn't at a concert or anything. They seen me hustling CDs and everything, and she said you should rap. She said you should rap for Jesus. You should rap for God. And a little part of me is saying, like, I got my relationship. I don't need to preach, But it was interesting because that person came in my life. I couldn't even tell you what her name was and dipped. But the message was, you should rap for Jesus. You should rap and be more God-like. And years later, me being in certain situations, I felt like, if I keep on this path, I feel like I'm being disobedient. Knowing that I'm built for something more. So it's definitely a permanent move. It's something I prayed about. It's something I scratched my head about. It's something I asked my closest people about. And some people told me, nah, we miss rock. We love that Rockwell. I need to hear this from you. And a little part of me is like, that could be my closest disguise, with the enemy speaking for him. Because I know what my heart feel. My heart tell me to do what it is I'm being told to do.
What was that point where you wanted to transition?
After a few business transactions, I realize how wicked a person can be, how wicked the game can be, how evil man can be. And I think that's what started peeling the onion for me, because you can't work hard, be in position, and fail. Somebody said, the harder I work, the luckier I get. And, I always pray before I do things. I've always kept good people in my circle, but I think what actually did it for me, we did a show out in Mississippi with French Montana, Big Sean, Gotti, a few other people, and we went to one of the after parties about 2-3 in the morning, and we're walking around with these people who just was targeted at, they just shot up a man French tour bus, like a couple weeks before we did the show with them. And standing in that club in the back, VIP, you're supposed to feel privileged, but I felt so vulnerable and helpless, and they start throwing drugs and throwing, a bottle or two was being tossed our way, and I'm just like, man, it's only a matter of time before we become a target like this man they've been trying to hit for a while, and being in a dark club with hundreds of people around you, start to question, like, wow, is tonight my night? Am I gonna make it home? Did I kiss my kids long enough before I came out here? And I said to myself, man, when I get home, I'm gonna change clothes. I prayed about it already, and he's been giving me signs already. How much longer do I need to keep bumping my head before I wake up or not be here? You know what I mean? So, and then one of the fans was like, a lot of people asked me, yo, you a Coke boy? You with them? You part of their crew? And I had to just stand on my own and say, nah, we here independently. We somebody else. So I think that night really opened my eyes, because, when they walked us back to the shuttle, they had armed guards all around us, but they weren't there to protect us or me. They were there to protect the man they was hired to protect. And at some point, money can't even protect that, so you just have to weigh. Like, a lot of people talk, I think in rap music, especially hip hop, they talk about content, gangs, drugs, itemizing, weapons, but when you put in a situation to actually live it, a lot of people can't live what it is they live through their music. And I've always been one to live through my music. Everything I talk about is real. And even if it's exaggerated somewhat as entertainment, but if I put myself in that bowl, I'm gonna get everything that's in that bowl, whether I like it or not.
I mean, it seems to be a huge move. I mean, you spent a lot of your time, over the years, getting Rockwell known, putting them out in the eye of the people, and now you're transitioning. So, have you announced this to anyone at all before today?
Not really. It's been a hush. I gave it to a few of my people, like yourself, close family, friends, but I haven't really spilled the beans. I told people what I thought about doing, and just to kind of test to see if they would run with it or be against it, But I'm really eager to put this out, really anxious to make it happen, because if not, I'll be doing injustice to myself and the reason why I'm even putting this together, It's time.